You all might think having a band in Germany, it must be easier than in China. After all, Germany is one of the biggest rock and metal country. But is that real? Rock Talking Heads went to a small village near Nuremberg, spent a week together with the lead singers of a German band Cosmodrome and his family, to have a real experience of German band's life. Cosmodrome is a futurist rock band. Their music is very nice. Lead singer Benedikt, living in a small town more than 40 minutes away from Nuremberg, with his wife Julia, 2 kids and a cute dog. In this place far from the big city, lifestyle is slow, also very warm. Benedikt and Julia are very in love. Their 2 children are also very adorable. Each day when we finished our dinner, we just chatting in his yard and watching the stars, or take a walk in the village. It's hard to imagine living in such a quiet and cozy little village. They can create the experimental and avant-garde music. But although the music of Cosmodrome is great, but solely on the income of their band, they can't support themselves. So the 3 of them, they all have a full-time jobs. Benedikt is a web designer. Guitar player Emmanuel worked for a coffee trading company. Drummer Benedikt is a training teacher, and they can only focus the band's creating, rehearsing and performing with times outside of work. Their rehearsal room is in the basement of the Benedikt's house. Because of the heavy rain, the basement was soaked in water. Benedikt has to find time to clean up a mess of rehearsal room. We also saw the poster of Nanyang Midi Festival last year. Exactly. Cosmodrome was played at Nanyang Midi Festival. This is also their first visit to China. This experience even reported by the local newspaper and TV channel. Benedikt and Emmanuel have been playing the band together for almost 20 years. They are also quite tacit in musical harmony.
Because we know each other so well, we knew what music we want to do. Like we wanted to do something like cinematic rock, like soundtrackish rock, a bit of electronics. The vision was clear, and you have nobody coming with different opinions or something like that. So it was clear from the start.
Are you guys still looking for a bass player?
No. Nobody needs a bass player.
Also, to show our friendship, we made them a Chinese meal with limited conditions. During the time I lived with them, I actually kind of understand why their lives seem Oslo stressful but still have the energy to play a good band, even with balancing family, work and life. First of all, the working environment in Germany is not so hard as in China. They have a clear separation of work and life. After the works, it's just your own personal time. Outside of working times, they basically not get distracted by their work. Also because of they can focus on everything, so the efficiency is actually very high. Also, road traffic in Germany is really developed. Unlimited and free highway and well-country roads make them can live in a less expensive town. The traffic for work takes not that long either. Their houses are rented. In Europe, we can renovate and furnish the house according to your preference. The most importantly, and what surprised me the most, is the cost of supermarket is really beyond the imagination of many Chinese people. Food and daily stuff are basically more cheaper than Beijing, and the quality is quite good. For example, this hamburger with a large piece of meat, fresh from the local butcher shop, only takes 80 cents. With this price, it's not enough to buy an egg pancake nearby our office in Beijing. The average income in Germany is also relatively high in Europe. It can really relieve a lot of life stress with such a cheap price. Of course, yeah, this is not Berlin or Munich either, but the gap between cities is really not too big as in China. So German bands don't have that much life pressure, also have enough time, and such a great music environment. Will the development of the bands be better? Reality is far from as simple as imagined. Although the music atmosphere in Germany is really great, the audience base is also bigger than China. But the competition the bands face is far greater than what we think.
Everybody has a band, then you have the big acts where you cannot compete, because how to compete with bands like Metallica or Kiss or Rammstein in the first stages of your band? How to?
There are superstars like Rammstein and Scorpions, and also countless new bands that are emerging. Everyone is fighting with limited stage resources and live opportunities. Especially in Europe, there are also a lot of American bands come to perform. Bands like Cosmodrome, it takes more than we thought if they want to achieve even a little bit.
So you have to have a vision and do always the best on the level you are.
Cosmodrome went where they are today. They have experienced many difficulties.
We did all this stuff. We trusted the wrong people. We paid a lot of money for nothing. We played for almost no one or one.
It seems that they had no choice, in addition to working harder than others.
You know, if they scanned the Mona Lisa and they saw there's layers of layers, him trying to get it right.
Yes.
And then he painted it all over and started again.
Yeah.
And that's what makes an artist. I don't care about being famous or whatever, but the process of doing it over and over again until it feels just right, until you can do that thing that you wanted to do. That's what makes an artist, I think.
What is your most important key point for each successful performance? What is it?
Not to drink.
As a music fan in Germany, they must be much happier than Chinese. But as a German band, in fact, it is far from as lucky as Chinese bands. There are too many Chinese bands, even if the level of musical composition is difficult to say, but because of the TV shows and social media, they can also become very popular in an instant. That is almost unlikely to happen in Germany.
If you are playing a big show or something, there's always somebody like, okay, those guys got lucky. It's just luck. But it's never luck. You have to have your vision straight, and then you have to be prepared, because there's a lot of opportunities out there. And if they knock on your door and you're not prepared, you cannot take them. So
Yes.
if a guy asks you to play on a big stage, you need to be ready to play on a big stage. If they got some great video walls, you have to have something to put on there. So if you get everything figured out, you are ready and prepared, and when the opportunity comes, you can take it, and then you can move forward.
If we have only one suggestion to a new band, what it is?
You have to know what you want. Try to master your level of craftsmanship in order to get your thoughts of music and inner expression out technically.
I think you need to have a job. If you have your money and your life figured out, you can focus on the music. I think you have to get a job first. I'm sorry, but it's like this.
Really thanks to Benedikt and Cosmodrome to welcome us so warmly. The day we left them, it was the wedding anniversary of Benedikt and his wife Julia. We also sincerely wish their lives will become more happier. Cosmodrome will also be come back to China to play at the Beijing International Canal Art Week. We are also looking forward to meet them again in Beijing to create more memories together.
Follow Rock Talking Heads to share more stories with music.